All right. Everybody
Right.
we're going to look in a circle, okay? I'm going to look at Chima. Chima's going to look at Will. Will's going to look at me. Chima, am I looking at you right now?
Yep.
Yeah,
Am I
exactly.
looking at Tyler?
Yes.
That was pretty good. Welcome back. Another Chalky Milk Gang podcast for your day. We got the usual trio here, Tyler, Will, and the social distancing mustache, myself, here for season 2, episode 10. We've been doing these a lot. The 12th overall episode of the Chalky Milk Gang podcast. This one is going to be a banger. We are going to be talking about school reopenings for the fall. It's a crazy topic. I go to UMass, Tyler goes to Boston University, Will goes to Tufts. We're going to say what we think about our school and how they're doing it. We're also going to talk about the whole ICE situation because that's a whole nother thing. But first off, a little fan favorite action, a little Chalky Milk review. Who wants to go first?
Stu Leonard's 9.2 next week, guaranteed. It's
Ooh.
going to be new.
Let's
That's
go.
That's a Chalky Milk promise.
That's hype. Is it still 9-2? Do you feel like?
Still 9.2. Still holds up.
Yeah. I'm still on the same. I'm back to the basic Gitas.
Oh, basics.
Trader Joe's.
Little Gitas. Let's see. What did that one get?
It's been a 6.2
Yeah.
in the past. It's tasting a little better because I've had just terrible Chalky Milk as of late to compare it with, but
Yeah.
it's probably it might be a little higher. I don't know. For now, I'm gonna keep it at a 6.2.
6.2. Yeah.
You know,
I respect it. I respect the hustle. All right, so I'm the only one that has a new one. But we're just gonna go back to the fridge here. We're gonna get what we got here. So we got another hood, but this is just the original chocolate low-fat milk. But shout out to Aaron Cohen. Last podcast, he was like, "Yo, you guys should put chocolate milk ice cubes in your thing." So that's what we got here. We got some chocolate milk ice cubes. This is going to be interesting. It may be good. It may not be good. But before I do that, let's just take an overall sip of the hood just to make sure we're not, throwing off any bad vibes from the ice cubes.
Can somebody please make this pun? We gotta see what's under the hood.
We gotta see what's under the hood.
It had to be said.
Right. Under the hood, we got some big chocolate flavor vibes, I'd say. Let's see how much protein we got. 15 grams of protein. That's more than usual. So protein vibes back at it again. But here we go. We're just going to dive right in.
I think also Aaron just suggested normal ice cubes, and then I was like, that'd be bad. But if it was chocolate milk ice cubes, could be something.
That's right. I think he did say that.
What are we feeling, Chima?
This tastes like water. It's not that good, honestly. Look, it's better than nothing, but I didn't get vibes from that. It's just 47 grams of sugar too. Like, for it to taste like water and have 47 grams of sugar, like, what are we doing as a brand? You know what I mean?
It's low fat. That might matter.
It is low fat. It does have vitamins A and D. Calcium fortified. Crazy words here. Crazy verbiage. But 300 calories. I'm not. I just don't know how we're vibing with this, but we're just gonna pour it into the ice cubes and see, if this adds some, if it downgrades. It's gonna be interesting to see. I can't actually tell if it adds anything, but let's just say that
it's probably not going to.
It's probably not going to. But it's interesting. It makes it a little cooler. And it's not like water ice cubes, so maybe this is okay. But in terms of the hood, man, like, what's under the hood? I'm not vibing with this. Usually, I think like, okay, chocolate milk, exciting stuff, right? I'm gonna always give it like a really high review because, like, that's what it deserves. It's chocolate milk, but this one does not get it. This is a 4.7. Hood chocolate low fat milk, not good.
Mighty have fallen, although I don't think it's that mighty.
It's not that mighty. But the other hood one, the Moose Truck that I had last week was like an 8.8, but this is a 4.7. Just disappointed overall as a unit.
Dude, that's higher than I thought it'd be. You said it tastes like water?
It's like chocolate water though, so like you can't get that. Wait.
Dude,
Actually, what did your Yoo-hoo get?
I was like a 3.8. Don't quote me on that.
It's definitely Yoo-hoo got a 4.5.
4.5.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
This is
Yep.
definitely better than the Yoo-hoo, but
Yeah,
like
that's
not by
yeah.
much really. This is a 4.8, and
Wait, Tyler, were you the one that tried Horizon Organic, whatever?
oh, that was so bad. Yeah, that wasn't.
Yeah.
Because that was 3.4.
I was not a fan of that.
So would you
It's
rate
definitely better
Yoo-hoo
than
above
Horizon.
that?
It depends on the day, honestly.
All right.
I do think it might be considered better just because it's got the flavor there, but I'm still not a big fan of the flavor, you know.
Mhm.
It's like, I don't know. Do you want a flavor that really just can't compete, or would you rather have nothing, no substance at all? You know, is what it comes down to.
Mhm.
Personal
Ultimate
preference.
Chalky Milk review coming soon.
Exactly.
100 subscribers. We need to get there.
And the Q&A, we'll get that
Q&A
out.
coming up. Filming it this week when I get
Mhm.
home. But
That should be it next week.
yeah, so look, boys, really love the insight there. Just some great Chalky Milk reviews. But now we get to the real topic of the show here. Our colleges, they have reopening plans. They're thinking like, hey, you know what? Let's do something for the fall. Just satisfy the people. They didn't really satisfy the people, but it's hard. It's really hard. And, they're trying to keep people safe. Again, I go to UMass. Tyler goes to Boston University. Will goes to Tufts. Tyler and I are incoming juniors. Will is a little sophomore. Do you guys want to share a little bit about your guys' reopening plans?
Yeah, I could start this off. And also it's important to remember that like no action or like no plan would be good. There's always going to be problems,
it's
whether
a
it's too
lose-lose
strict
situation.
or too lax. And there's nothing good that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So Tufts is coming back sort of full swing. They're doing like the main adjustment so classes that are over 50 people are automatically online. Everything else is up to the professor. And all of my classes are a hybrid. So they're like, you're going to come in for one of the classes and like the other one's going to be online. So that could, cut down class
That's pretty
size.
good.
And even so like some classes that are less than 50, professors are still going to be like, it's all online because just healthier for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And the big thing residentially is they're doing these like cohorts. So it's groups of like 10 to 12 people that you're going to live near. Like they're redoing housing lotteries. So you could like pick your cohorts.
Oh, it's good that you're redoing it.
Yeah. So those people is like your family unit. So you can eat with them and like you can hang out with them, but that's kind of it. And you're really not supposed to interact with anybody else. And that's kind of the big thing. And no clubs. Basically nothing besides classes.
That stinks.
Yeah, I mean that sounds a lot like what my school is doing. Like almost to a T. You know, in terms of classes, we have like I think it's like big classes are completely online, like big lectures with the discussions being in person. It's like smaller classes, they'll do like a rotation, like you said. Like I'll go in for in person every third class period, and the other 2 or 4 or whatever it is, I'll like watch the lecture online. And then in terms of housing, like it's basically in terms of what you said about cohorts, I think our system is a little more fluid, or I didn't read the whole thing because I got lazy, but there's something along the same lines of, what is it? You have a certain group that you're like, going to be like permitted to be exposed to.
Mm-hmm.
And then in terms of just housing, I think they're trying to cut down on like who's interacting with who, obviously. So there's stuff like there are regulations like you can't have any visitors or guests in the dorms.
Same.
On move-in day, you're only allowed to have one person with you, so I can't drag my family along to help me move my stuff in. And then dining halls, it's going to be a new procedure as well. They've always done it so that you're allowed to like order ahead, but now I think kids are actually going to be using that feature. It's going to be different.
Absolutely.
That was, I think, the thing I was most worried about. And to be honest, the BU plan doesn't say a lot, especially for like peak times when you could barely even get a seat. And now it's like, we're just going to split it up so everybody's 6 feet away, even though that's going to be like impossible.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not a lot of clarity in the dining hall area, in the arena of how they're going to be able to feed everybody. It's a little important, but everything else, I think they're doing pretty much like very, very, very similar to how you're doing well. So,
and just in terms of dining halls, I think what we're doing is basically you can't eat there, and I'm not sure if you have to order ahead or if you can do like takeout stuff, probably both, or like you have to reserve a time or something, but it's going to be icky. And there's only 2 dining halls, so it's going to be super tough.
Yeah. I don't know. Go Jumbos, go Terriers. But that was an L. But I feel like I vibe with the whole cohorts thing. Like, I feel like you're going to get really close to those 12 people. So it's still going to give you some sort of like college aspect to it. I feel like your semester is still going to have some sort of worth, I'd say. But UMass Amherst, located in Amherst, Massachusetts. State school, Massachusetts. That's where I go. This is what we're doing. So students choose living on campus or they go home for the semester, basically. Almost all courses will be taught remotely. They're just saying, like, no, we're completely online, basically. I think it's like 99%. They said, like, if you have a lab, it's probably in person, but I've seen a lot of friends, they have their engineering majors and their labs are online. So that's terrible. So UMass, honestly, like, it's basically all online. That's easier to say. Only essential face-to-face instruction offered. So that could be like some sort of lab. Large-scale testing, isolation, and contact tracing planned. Students must sign like an agreement with the school saying you're not going to do X, Y, Z, basically. They said in the thing, life on campus will not resemble normal college life at all. No guests, including family members, like your parents can't come visit you, which is interesting. In terms of like clubs and stuff, I think they're actually like trying to make some sort of resemblance of RSOs. Pretty much for the most part, the only people that are going to be on campus are like freshmen and stuff. A lot of upperclassmen, sophomores up, they're saying, look, going to live on campus, it's basically a prison. I'm not going to do that. So I'm either going to get an off-campus place like I'm living in right now so that I can like actually see people and stuff, or I'm just going to go home for the semester and be able to like travel to Amherst to do stuff on the weekends and stuff. But like for Greek life, they're specifically saying like we're going to have recruitment in the fall. Most, if not all, programming will be done online, but they're actually trying to make some sort of in-person stuff. Like I'm the rush chair for my fraternity, so it's like we're making a plan right now, and we may be able to do like an outdoor event, like such as like soccer or something. But I'm in another organization. They're saying they may do the usual club expo like we usually have in the fall and spring, but it's outdoors at like an attended area, and you go with like 10 other freshmen to the club expo and you get to see all the clubs and stuff. So I think UMass, they're like actually trying, unlike Tufts, to make like clubs and organizations have some sort of thing in the fall, which I think is nice. But overall, it's a lose-lose. Like, you're not going to win with this. No school is going to win. There's a lot of schools. Like, I remember in North Carolina, they were like, yeah, we are going to have all of our classes in person, no doubt about it. But in reality, like, that's not happening. There's no chance. You got to keep people safe, and, like, you're not going to do that with 100% in-person classes and no social distancing. So I think a lot of schools, they're starting to retract a little bit and say, hey, you know what? Maybe we didn't mean that, which is stupid. But yeah, I don't know. That's our plans, basically.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think for starters, schools sort of saw the new numbers with the second wave, which people were allowed to be skeptical about when it wasn't happening. And now they all have to be like, oh, that's a thing. And if we try to have all in-person classes on campus in a 40,000 person school, people will die. So we can't do that.
Yeah. They don't want deaths, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Also, this isn't even the second wave. This is still the first wave that just never got handled properly. So if the second wave were to happen, it's like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
It's not good, I'd say.
No.
And we have friends and their schools are now completely online for the fall. Like
Ottawa.
Chalky Milk Gang alumni Andrew Badesky, his school is completely online. Canada's like, we're just not doing this right now, so we're gonna go online, which is interesting. It sucks, but it may be the safest option. I don't know. I feel like a lot of schools may consider that now. At least UMass, my school, and like your guys' schools, they're pretty much like almost all online, if not all.
Yeah. And also just another thing about the clubs. It's that all clubs are like, nah. And except like stuff involving like civil justice where you have to be in person. Because just wanted to mention that.
That's crazy.
Another thing you mentioned, Jima, is that most of all your classes are online. The other thing that was interesting was like people can't really like go to or from like campus,
Oh yeah, they're restricting travel basically. So if you're going to be on campus for the semester, like you can't go anywhere else. I don't even know if you can go into town, like our town of Amherst, or go to the neighboring town of Hadley for if you need to go to Walmart or something. That's all like very uncertain what they're going to do. I feel like it's impossible to say you can't go to Walmart and get groceries, but it's like they want to make sure you're safe. I don't know. I feel like all of our schools are trying their best, but I think the best plan that I saw was Syracuse. Pretty much they're saying, okay, you get to school earlier, which all of our schools I think are doing as well. But
Mine's not, which is so stupid.
Oh, really? That's weird. But Syracuse, they're going back August 1st, and everyone at the school is going to get tested, and then you're going to sit in quarantine for 2 weeks. And if you test positive for the virus, and you go to a different place, but if you test negative for the virus, you get to chill. And it's like, I feel like the only way there's going to be any sort of resemblance of any sort of like fall semester for anyone is if you test everybody. And like, that's way easier said than done, especially in the US where testing is just not that good. Obviously it's seeing our death rates, but like, I don't know. Like I got a COVID test 2 weeks ago because I needed it. And it's like, it wasn't that crazy of a process. I feel like if Syracuse can find a way to test all their kids, I feel like a lot of other schools can do the same. I don't know.
Syracuse is a large school too.
Yeah.
So if they can do it,
your schools are definitely smaller than Syracuse. I'm at a similar size, but
mine's like less than 6,000. It's like 5,000 to 6,000. So that's like very manageable. There's got to be an alumni that can afford a test for every student.
Yeah.
I feel like there's some way they could do it.
The way BU is doing it is actually really similar. We're all also getting tested when we get back, like everybody, which is cool. And then they're going to continue to test people throughout the year. Like,
nice.
I don't know if it's randomly. They're like assigning people priorities. So like faculty have priority 1. I don't know how it works, but like maybe it's like seniors have priority 2. It's not actually seniors have priority 2, but the second most important group has priority 2, 3, 4, etc. So people are constantly getting tested, which I think is cool because BU has sort of set up their own system for them. But it's also more difficult because it's not going to like test and trace, or is that what it's called? Test and trace? Contact and trace?
Contact tracing.
Yeah, contact tracing is not going to work as well because we're in the city. Like you were saying, travel restrictions are what's going to be a big deal at UMass. It's impossible at BU. They're just not traveling.
Oh yeah,
because we're in the middle of a city. Public transportation is right there. It's so easy to get around.
Don't take it.
People are constantly bringing. Yeah, I know, right? People are constantly bringing, like disease and stuff on campus, through campus. We have like homeless people sitting around, which is like not a big deal. But if people are bringing diseases like to campus, it's going to be, it's a reality you have to contend with.
Yeah. You're in the middle of Boston. I don't know. For my school, like I'm in the middle of nowhere, Western Massachusetts. Like we have the tallest library, 26 floors, but it's all farmland besides that. So it's like there's not going to be much coming in, especially if they limit, like even parents, you're not allowed to go. So it's like it's just going to be the UMass people. The only worry is like if you go to town or something and there's some other person there and you get the virus from them, then that just gets it to everybody. But it's like you're in the middle of a city as opposed to middle of nowhere, so it's going to be a lot easier for us to contain it.
I'm sorry, 26 floors.
26 floors. So
That's
you got
insane.
so you have like a library floor, right? But then you have 26 other ones. So it's 26 and it's crazy. I love it. You guys have to come over.
Yeah, not this year.
Not this year, but another time. Yeah. When we're all 21, so we go to the bars.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I'd say also at Tufts, it's like can't really do much in terms of like limiting travel because it's not in the middle of nowhere, and half the student body lives off campus. Juniors and seniors all live off campus, so you can't really control them.
Yeah.
So for them, actually, it's a little bit less crappy because they shouldn't really like be interacting with like everyone they know, but like they can't really be as enforced because they don't live on campus.
That's kind of why, like, at least from like my friends, they're saying like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to live off campus just because, you can actually have some sort of freedom. Like maybe I'll have people over my house, have it be socially distant and have, it be outside, but it's like you can actually still interact with people like normal to some sort of extent, as opposed to when you're on campus, you can't do that at all because they're watching over you, which I completely understand. But it's like, if you want any sort of like resemblance of a college semester, then off campus is going to be the play.
It's a tough balance to find between safety and comfort.
Because I want to I don't want to spread anything, but it's like, I don't think I could do another semester of just no social interaction. You know what I mean?
Where you live now, is that considered on campus or off campus?
Off campus. So like it's an off campus house. Like
so you're gonna
I live in
there.
like a residential neighborhood, pretty close to campus though. Like 5-minute walk. I'm right at one of the big buildings. So it's a pretty good place.
So you're gonna live there?
Yeah. Gonna keep living here. Got good vibes, so can't beat it. Got Big Y near me with all the chalky milk, so
I want to see that.
It's really good. It's great. The grocery store.
I gotta see.
Not this hood chocolate milk though. Not great. Not great. Disappointed. But yeah, crazy. I don't know. How does this affect your guys' like daily lives? Like, how is this what's your college day going to look like now as opposed to normal?
So I guess I'll start. My normal day would be like wake up, either eat lunch before my classes or just go straight to classes. And then I'd be out usually either like eating in a dining hall or working in the library, or sometimes I'd come back. And if I had free time, I'd like go to the gym or something. And now, since all my classes are hybrid, there's going to be days where I don't have to leave my room. And leaving my room would just be like, go pick up food and then come eat it in my room. So
that's a hassle.
Sure you guys are going to agree, but it's just going to be like weird days.
It's going to be weird.
And no extracurriculars. And you can only hang out with like these 12 people. So
stuff.
I don't know.
I don't know how it's gonna operate. Like, I think like you were saying, it's just gonna be like a lot of like being in your room, a lot of like Netflix and stuff. But the few times you do go out, like the few times you go out are gonna be so different. Like I have to report online, I think like daily how I'm feeling, and I have to self-check my temperature. I don't know if they're gonna be able to.
That's pretty smart.
Yeah. But that's something that they've been talking about, and like frequent like virtual checkups with the RA. So that'll be something that's different.
I feel like that's like a manageable thing to do, just like checking your temperature.
Those are like
it's
precautions that like everywhere should try their best to include.
Right? Yeah.
Tyler, you know those temperature things we do at camp when we get there?
Temp gun.
Yeah. Every cohort should be given one of those, and it's like, do it every day.
It's a solid idea. I mean, I don't know. How much does a temp gun really cost,
Yeah. I'll get my cohort one. We'll figure that out.
Exactly.
I'm gonna look it up.
And then on top of that, I don't know, like you said, like picking up food, but also just like walking places is gonna be weird. Like every building that we go into from now on, they're gonna have like assigned walking paths. Places that you're all like specifically allowed to sit, they're going to be distanced from other places. Like it's going to be strange. Even then, like our gym's still opening up for whatever reason, but even in there, you have to like follow the correct path or like make sure you're sanitizing everything. I mean, I don't know how well that's going to work, but you know.
That's crazy. Like, in every store you go to now, like you go to the supermarket, there's all these paths where you have to walk technically, but nobody actually follows it. I feel like at a school, it's going to be actually, you got to actually do it, which is going to be interesting.
Because right now we're like, we're in our hometown, or like for at least you, Chima, you're like in a college town where there really aren't a crazy amount of people. Like we're limiting the amount of people that we're interacting with.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like fine. But once everybody on our campus comes back and it's thousands and thousands of people, like we all become real adults again with like a much more significant possibility of coming into contact with somebody who could be infected.
Of course.
And you actually have to start taking it seriously. Like, seriously. So,
have you ever heard of the thing, like the 6 degrees of separation, where like you and anyone else you can think of, usually the example is Kevin Bacon, you can find 6 people to connect.
Yep.
Imagine like just on a college campus, that's got to be like 3 people. Like no matter who you're interacting with, if someone has it on the campus, it's only like 3 people away from you.
It's a great point, actually. Like imagine how terrifying that is.
Because remember, like when we all got home, I remember thinking like, oh, like our friend group of 11 people, we could all just like go somewhere, quarantine together, and like
I'm thinking more like that now.
So like, none of us probably had it, and even so, like whatever. But it's like you take a big group of like Tyler, your school's were like 15,000 people, 30,000. I don't know.
18.
18. A lot of people are probably going to come to school with it.
Only 18 people, bro. I'll be fine.
Oh, 18 people.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. It's a small school.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of forgot what my point was, but
Hey, points are unnecessary.
The point is, if one person has it, you're at risk. Whereas like now, what Tyler was saying, like we're in a town where we're very limited, and like we really only interact with like our families and our closest friends, and that's it. So
I think another point, like we gotta be thankful that we're going to school. We're going to schools in Massachusetts, and we're from Connecticut. 2 states have done an excellent job with the coronavirus. Right? Yeah, I think like Massachusetts, like anywhere in New England is doing a pretty good job. New York, Andrew Cuomo seems to have it done. A few of the other states, but it's like, imagine if you're going to go to school like University of Arizona or something. Arizona's doing a pathetic job. FAU, like Florida's doing a terrible job. So it's like you go there and there's a much bigger risk of getting the coronavirus from just going to school there, as opposed to going to school in a school like, BU, Tufts, UMass, any of these New England schools. Like our state's actually kind of got it down. They're more like the European countries, I feel like, or just Asian countries, all those other countries, not the United States.
Competent countries.
Competent.
Love
America, but you got criticize it sometimes when it's wrong. But that's just interesting. Like some schools are going to have a much harder time than others, and our schools are in a pretty good position because of where we're located.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I have a friend at BU who's like living in Louisiana, and he's back there right now. And he was telling me like people are complaining and like taking their masks off in like crowded public areas all the time.
They don't care.
Like I get like not wanting to wear your mask, and we're not perfect around like, our 5 to 10 friends.
Yeah, but nobody's really been perfect.
You go into the gas station and people just like aren't wearing it. You go into the supermarket, nobody cares. It's like crazy. Like, do you even own a mask? I don't know.
It's just like such a level of like your comfort for these 30 minutes. It's also like wearing a mask. Tyler and I wear a mask outside all day long at camp, and it's like it sucks, but like
you do it because
like, you just do it. You take it off so you can like catch your breath, and then you put it back on. It's not that big of a deal. You're shopping, just wear it.
Yeah, I feel like here it's like, okay, you're in public, you wear a mask because we get it. Now there's like I was even in Maine, and like people were not doing it there. Maine is a little different than other New England states. Like I had this one guy like yell at me because I was wearing a mask, calling me an idiot or something. I'm like, I think you're the idiot. I think you're the idiot because you're
Like,
getting
have you
the
never
virus
heard
and
the
I'm not
phrase,
because I'm wearing a
better
mask.
safe than sorry?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Come on.
See, that's funny though, because people in Maine are, there's like nobody there, so you're almost always following social distancing guidelines, even if you don't mean to.
Well, this was like in town. There was like a good amount of people there.
Okay, maybe
in a summer town, but just crazy. Like I don't get it.
It's unreal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Obviously, we haven't been perfect ourselves, but like
No, but
pretty good.
Like,
Yeah.
at least we try to be.
Yeah.
Because we have intentions.
Yeah.
We're
good enough not to have contracted the coronavirus, and that's
Better
at this
than
point
most.
that's what matters, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Better than most.
Another thing that's going to be really different. I was looking into the laundry policy at my school. It's going to suck.
That's actually something that's
that is
about,
interesting.
that's shared stuff.
You have to stay 6 feet away from other people. You have to use a certain like water temperature, which I assume the university is going to handle. But they were like the warmest water possible, and I was like, okay, sure.
Yeah, no more cold water.
Exactly. Like the other thing they were saying, you can't wash other people's clothes, and I read that and I was like,
people do.
Who's washing their friends' clothes for them? Like what?
Hey Tyler, can I put my clothes in your clothes? I don't want to pay money.
It's just so random.
It's just weird.
Yeah, but then I think most importantly, in order to keep traffic down, they're gonna have to make a laundry schedule. I hate that. I mean, like I get why they do it, and I'm gonna follow it, but I hate that if we have to do that. That's
You hate that
oh
it's
my
come
God.
to this.
I love just being able to run down at 2 a.m. and shove all my stuff in the washer.
You wash it 2
Not gonna lie,
a.m.,
I feel like that is actually much better. Like I don't
They
know.
should keep that forever.
But yeah, I feel like that's so much better. At least I feel like this is every school. Everyone does their laundry on Sunday night because that's when there's nothing going on Sunday night.
Yeah.
If we spaced it out, then the laundry room wouldn't be as crowded. Like I would go in there Sunday night if I need to do my laundry. There's nothing available. I'm gonna have to wait. But it's like, why don't I just do? I learned like, okay, why don't I just do it on a Wednesday or a Tuesday or a Thursday or something like that? If I'm not doing anything on a weekend night, I'm gonna do it then because nobody's there. So it's just we gotta think.
I would do that on a lot of times I'd like come back from volleyball practice. So it was like 10:30, 11 on like a Tuesday. There's open stuff.
Yeah,
so
just
it's
do
like
it.
so easy to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I like to do it like while I shower so that I'm not like wasting time waiting for it.
Same facts. Straight facts. See, we just get it.
Also, like the night before people go home for a break, insanely packed.
So packed.
Like Thanksgiving break, winter break, like right as finals were ending, you couldn't get it if you tried.
At my school, everyone just like waited till they got home to do their laundry. Like
that's what I was gonna say.
They would come home. Well, they would like be picked up by their parents, and they would just have a whole thing of laundry. They're like, "Mom, Dad, let's do this laundry home."
That's what I was expecting. I'm like, I just did my laundry
school's
because
just backwards.
I could, but I was surprised that so many people were. Because a lot of people have to fly.
Flying school,
so like they can't just bring their laundry on the plane.
I mean, you have to bring your clothes back one way or another. Dry, like washed or
I
not.
don't know, man.
Plus, I was gonna say, like, the way finals operate at BU, like 2 or 3 days into final season, there are already some kids who are done with their finals and they're out of there. They're gone. So as it keeps progressing, once you get closer and closer to the end of final season, there's less and less people on campus, and that definitely applies to the laundry room as well.
For us,
I've done my laundry like late into final season, and it's not just like the laundry room, like campus is empty.
Tough.
Yeah, for us, so there's like a weekend in between, and so like most people end up leaving on that weekend, and it's packed.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense then. Yeah.
I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I don't know. We don't necessarily know how it's gonna play out. We just gotta see how it plays out.
Yeah, really.
Then we'll be like, damn, this is crazy. Because like in March, everyone's like, all right, you're gone. So we don't know how it's gonna play out. It's gonna be interesting. I don't know. But another layer of this, so ICE. So pretty much what ICE is saying is that if you're a student that goes to a school that is completely online, they're not going to give you a visa, and you either have to go home or to whatever country you're from, or you have to transfer to a school that has in-person classes, but that's pretty much impossible. Like, what school is going to take you and say, okay, you get to go to these in-person classes? I don't see where that's going to happen. But yeah, so no visas for those that are completely online, like my school, basically. It's not a good situation. What?
That's just cold.
It's so cold.
Like legally, the concept, like it kind of makes sense. But Chima, if you want to like say what you told me before, it's like it makes sense. Like if you don't need to be here, you don't need a visa. But as Chima, if you could explain, a lot of these students like do need to be here, so they should be considered for like getting a visa.
Facts. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I did a little research before this. I read an article, and like pretty much there's some students where it's like they can't get home if they tried. Like there are countries like Trinidad and Tobago, and they're like, yeah, so our border's closed to everyone, even if you are a citizen. So let's say there's a kid that's from Trinidad and Tobago, and he goes to some cool university, but they're like, all right, we're all online.
Like
And
UMass.
yeah, like UMass, and they're like, and ICE is saying, hey, you gotta go home. He's like, I can't. What are we doing here? And then like some countries, they're only doing that you can go home on like a rescue mission and stuff, and all that's sold out. So that's a whole nother thing. And there are countries like Syria that have a travel ban and whatnot in the United States. So these people, if they go back to Syria or whatever, or just any other country with a travel ban, they can't go back to the U.S., so they're just forfeiting their education, basically. They don't know if they're ever going to be able to go back and finish their degree. So it's just a whole thing. Like ICE is basically saying, like, you don't need a visa if it's all going to be online. But in certain situations, you actually really do need the visa because it's impossible to actually go home.
Rough.
Yeah.
You just covered it really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much to add?
Dude, I don't know. It makes sense why they're doing it from like as you so well said, a legal perspective. From a moral perspective, it makes no sense.
It makes sense from the most superficial glance at the piece of paper and be like, yeah, okay. It's like, think about it. What are you telling these people?
Exactly.
They have to leave to a place that they're not welcome.
Mm-hmm.
For also, if you want to get little point fingers, you're mad at these people, or you're shortening these people's like ability to learn because we couldn't handle it ourselves.
Absolutely.
So the people that didn't even contribute to the problem are now suffering the most, which is a common theme in American government.
Common themes. Tough.
Got them.
But true. I don't know. Like, I have friends that are from other countries, obviously, and they're in a tough situation themselves because all their class online, but it's like they deserve to be here. And also just traveling home, that's a whole nother thing. Like, it's not safe right now to go back to India or back to China or back to any other country. It's not safe. Like, flying is just not the place you want to be right now. So it's a whole debacle. A lot of universities, what they're doing is saying, okay, so we're going to do one credit class. It's basically a fuck ICE class. And, I respect it because basically they're saying, okay, this is our in-person class for you so you can stay. And that's the perfect solution for everybody. I've seen like MIT and Harvard, they're already instituting that.
There's a lot of
schools are thinking about it.
Change.org petition things.
Mm-hmm. I've signed those, but it's like every school, like, I don't care who you are, like that's gotta happen. You gotta support your students. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Whoa, voice crack.
Voice crack time. Voice crack vibes. Too much chalky milk for Will.
Chalky milk can't handle the milk.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not a good situation. Like it sort of makes sense what ICE is doing on paper, but when it plays out, it's just what are we doing as a group here? What are we doing?
What message are we
What are we doing? What message are we saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, any other thoughts?
I don't got anything else to add.
Crazy.
To this.
I don't know. We'll see. I have the inkling, the feeling that like some school is gonna get shut down at some point this semester.
A lot.
Zona. There's gonna be the big state schools that are gonna realize like a month in that like too many kids are getting infected. It's not working, and they're going to be forced to like, I don't even know, to send their kids home. Whatever. It's going to be a disaster, and I'm not looking forward to seeing how it unfolds. But I'm calling that it'll unfold poorly.
Like, let's say like one of our schools, something bad happens, all the other Massachusetts schools would probably be like, timeout.
They'd follow suit.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Oh God.
In the states that like, can you guys promise to be good so that we can all benefit? All right, cool.
But only if you promise to be good.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I would just follow up on my ice cubes. Like they're pretty good actually. They keep my chocolate milk cold while also it not being water. So even though this hood thing is just pretty much just chocolate water, there's no more water. It's just the hood thing. So I'd actually say I highly recommend the chocolate milk ice cubes in your chocolate milk if you want to keep your chocolate milk cool, which you should all be wanting to do.
Yeah.
Another layer to that though, you take like Trader Joe's or Stew Leonard's, make ice cubes out of that, and then put that in like worse chocolate milk to like help it.
Mm-hmm.
Or just don't drink worse chocolate milk.
I mean, yeah. But if you're low on milk, I don't know. It's an idea.
I actually am low on milk, chocolate milk. So this is interesting. But I
was gonna say another thing. I don't know if we mentioned this in the pod before, but earlier in the week, I got a recommendation from, I believe you, Alex, that was instead of mixing your coffee with milk, mix it with chocolate milk.
Yes.
Oh my God, what a play!
It is so good.
Yeah, it's
Next
fantastic.
level. It's like mocha, basically.
Yeah.
I don't drink coffee, but if I did, I would do that.
Yeah. Dude, even with like the terrible like DH3 Omega like hood milk.
Even that will upgrade your coffee.
That even helped. Even though it was like not crazy in the first place. Like
even almond beverage and chocolate syrup.
I don't know about that, Will. Maybe that's too much.
Well, you think about it, it's like just adding normal milk to coffee and then chocolate syrup.
Well, yeah, but that chalky milk was a 2.8. I don't know how I vibe with that.
Yeah, but normal milk, I don't know.
Normal milk is at least, I'd say, a 3, I think. But
like normal almond beverage.
Normal almond beverage is like
worse.
2.9, let's say.
I don't know.
2.7.
2.7. Okay. So it adds a 0.1 as opposed to
at least
0.1. Okay. I see. But yeah, I like you're adding milk to your coffee anyway, so might as well just add chocolate milk to it so it adds a little chocolatey flavor. It's a huge win-win for the group, I'd say.
Huge for the program.
Huge for the program.
You can get behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Big for the brand.
All right. I think that's about it, right?
I think that's about
Covered everything?
We covered a lot.
All right.
Thank you for listening.
Dude.
And subscribing and sharing and commenting and liking.
Listening. 57 subscribers. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Road to 1K is getting shorter.
Road to 1K. We say it every episode, I feel like, but really we actually are almost there this time. We only need a few more subscribers to get to our 1,000 subscriber goal. So please feel free to subscribe, like, comment. We support all of your guys' support of the channel. Look, more episodes. Every Wednesday we drop them because, we just want to be for the people. We want to be for the Chalky Milk Gang, and that's what we're going to do. So new episodes every Wednesday. We're going to come out with some non-podcast content coming soon. Q&A coming up with the crew here as we got to 50 subscribers. Big accomplishment. This is basically our full-time career at this point. So Q&A coming up. Please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Road to 1K is real. And thank you for watching. Till next time. See ya.